Welcome back. My name is Timothy Judkins. I am here with
Chimera Garrett.
And this is the Realty Resource Report, where we give the latest and greatest on what's happening in the world and the real estate market in general. Life is lifing as usual. It is sunny out. Happy June 1st. Wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. If anybody knows where that's from. But how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I have a new listing on the market. The one you filmed for me in Bridgeport.
Yes, land
it
listing.
Is 10 acres.
Yes.
So I've had a couple people reach out to me already for that.
We did a fun video of you in the Bronco.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna post that too.
Yeah, why not?
It'd be
Just to
fun.
kind of show people where it's at and where the area is, kind of a thing. Nice listing.
Yes.
Definitely a nice listing. Potential.
I think there's a lot of potential, especially for someone that wants to build a house.
And that's going to be a segue into something else that we need to talk more about with the building aspect. So, awesome. My weekend, I had filmed a commercial thing yesterday. Had knocked that out. And we're having lawnmower trouble again, you guys.
Again?
Let me tell you. I don't know what it is. Somebody keeps touching my mower and it just, but if I get out there and I turn it on, it turns on, it operates, it does its thing. But the minute I turn around, I swear I turn around and come back, what'd y'all do? What'd you do to it? So, in the middle of that, so that
Third time this.
hold on.
No, oh,
yeah,
okay.
it can be. It can. Look, we are on the cusp of a whole new. Yeah, we're just gonna get a whole new guy there. At the end of the day, it was one of those things. I was taken back. I weed whacked. I did the other things. I manicured what I couldn't cut, right? And of course, it is yard sale weekend.
Yep.
I was set up, you guys. 100% set up. Neighbors mowed next to me. Neighbors mowed. I'm the only guy in the middle. Didn't get the cue. It's all good. So while everybody was
40 was crazy.
That's where yes. So while everybody was literally going back and forth in front of my house the whole weekend for these yard sales, I'm in here weed whacking around the fire hydrant and all this other stuff. So I was outside for the weekend. Yes, for sure.
Working?
Yes, I got it knocked out, but it was good. Yeah, all is well. Anything else has changed? Any updates? Anything coming up?
I have 2 that's getting ready to close, and I think just a couple new listings, and that's really it.
Yeah.
I have one in St. Clairsville that's going to be coming on the market soon, too.
House? Land?
House.
Nice. Nice. There was, I told you about that. I had a few buyers reach out to me. They were looking at properties this weekend or wanted to see a few things. That is a shifting goalpost. Because I feel like every buyer I've talked to recently has different goals, different ambitions. We should actually check the audio real quick before.
Oh, yeah. That's the whole reason I brought my phone over here.
Before we keep going, we're going to do an audio check because
Everyone keeps texting us that it doesn't work.
that's a thing. So we're going to make sure that the audio is working. All right, we sound good.
We're good.
We're existing. Okay.
Oh.
With the jams included, okay? So we're going to get into the first story for the day.
Okay, story 1, that's you.
Mortgage rates continue to hover around 6%, which is awesome. So great. As much as people were like, oh man, I wish they were slamming down back to 0%, 1%, 2%. The thing is, they have been so volatile for so many years, from 20% down to 4%, back to 16%, that people are actually able to plan and strategize around 6% now. That is an awesome thing. Over the decades, over the past few years, it was hard to find out when was your good time, your pocket to get in. And if you ask her, she's going to say you should have bought 7 years ago, just like every other agent says. So it's hard to find that right spot. So as long as they are staying at the same point, same area, 6%, I believe we're going to have more business. We're going to have more buyers. We're going to have more sellers because now we know what to plan. We know how much we're going to take home. We know how much risk we're trying to get involved in. And so I think it's a beautiful thing.
I feel like people are finally adjusting to this being the new normal, so they're just okay with it.
What is normal? You know what I mean? I feel like every year is something new. If anything, if it's not every year, it's every presidency. You know what I mean? Every presidency ushers in a whole new set of priorities of what we're trying to do and what we're not trying to do. And my phone's still blowing up.
Airplane mode.
I'm not gonna do y'all like that. We'll do not disturb. Not airplane. Airplane used to be, it was trifling with airplane. We're going to move on, though. We're going to move on. Story two.
Okay,
Yes.
buyers are taking bigger risks to win homes. As competition increases in certain markets, some buyers are taking greater risks to secure homes. With this being said, there's multiple offer situations still occurring in desirable markets. Waiving contingencies remains a growing concern, and the competition is strongest for well-priced, move-in-ready homes.
Yeah. I think this was super interesting because I didn't, I'm more on the seller side, right? So I didn't know you guys were getting so risky. Why?
I've had a couple buyers recently waive the inspection contingency.
What?
They're just eager and ready.
Yes, and so that is a thing. I understand that FOMO is a real thing. I understand we're trying to get something before summer's over, kids going back to school, X, Y, and Z. At the end of the day, you are taking a huge liability by skipping these things. Mm-hmm. I would much rather slow you down in your home buying process so that you are going to be in a place that's making sense for you later in life than rushing you into something that's you wouldn't be able to afford, you couldn't put two and two together. And half the time, I want to bet a penny that these people are the same ones that don't really have any cash saved up for closing or down payment or anything like that. Basically unprepared, right? So don't sit here and try to rush a deal. This isn't an auction. You don't have to rush it just because you need it. Let's make sure that you are getting the house that fits you and your family, that you can afford, that's actually structurally sound, because you can mess around and get something crazy.
And especially with skipping the inspection contingency, I feel like you get in the house and then you're like, oh, what's wrong with this, this, and this? You should have got the inspection.
If you're in like the Texas market, Dallas, Austin, Nashville, if you're in like more of a metropolitan, okay, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But the houses out here were built in the 1980s, the 1600s, the 1800s. They're so old, you need this. You have to get this inspection. As much as you don't like hearing me say that, I'm going to tell my buyers that I need to know. You might not need, there's been times I will come out of my pocket. Mm-hmm. I will pay this inspection for you because I feel like it's important for us to know. Let that be known. Let that be known. Y'all don't get risky. Stop being so risky.
Story 3.
And this ties together well with the second story. Affordability remains king. This is the main factor driving everybody right now. So all of my sellers who are trying to get top dollar, all the ones who are like, oh no, this sold for this, we should be able to get that. Affordability is what everybody is hyper focused on in the buyer world. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that this isn't going to break the bank. We want to make sure that this isn't better than the apartment I was just in. Because if I have a lower overhead in the apartment versus now I have to yard work, welcome to the club, buddy. Welcome to the club. So make sure you are ready for these type of things that come with the property, because at the end of the day, if you're not, you'll be struggling. And it's going to be and then if you're trying to sell the house and you haven't been there that long, you have a whole second fight that you don't even know about yet, because you're not going to get more for the house if you haven't lived in it for X amount of time and haven't paid the mortgage down a little bit. We're just realtors. I'm sorry. I don't mean to bore you with this. It's just a real thing that I want to make sure that people are being decisive and attentive on what they're doing moving forward in the market. You're a buyer agent, so you would see this happen more often than anything.
I feel like my buyers are they're really curious on, like, obviously what their mortgage would be, expenses, utility sheets. Mm-hmm. So I feel like they're not just shopping just to buy the home. They're shopping.
They actually care about the numbers.
Their lifestyle, yeah.
Good. Because I feel like that wasn't a big thing before. And if you're saying in the other story that people are skipping stuff, to stop. Why? Take the time to learn what you wouldn't just buy something, a car or, some clothes without doing research.
Yeah, make sure you can afford it.
Make sure you afford it. Make sure you're getting the right deal. That's a whole other thing. How many times have you seen stuff you like from Express, different places, at different rates? You know what I mean? So it's like, don't jump on the online deal. The outlet might be the same thing and cheaper. You know what I mean? There's so many things out there, you guys.
Buyer seller tip?
Yeah. What you got for buyer?
I have buyer tip of the week. Don't let competition force you into a bad decision. With mortgage rates holding relatively steady, many buyers are finally getting comfortable with today's market. According to Realtor.com, some buyers are taking significant risks, waiving contingencies, and offering more than a home appraised value to win bidding wars.
I don't understand why. It's a big thing.
It says a home purchase should solve a problem, not create one.
This isn't FOMO. This isn't trying to get into the club. Chris Brown isn't here tonight. I just want to tell you guys, he's not here tonight. So there's no reason to scramble like this. There is a house that is perfect for you if you're focused and you're working with your agent the right way. That's the best way to put that, because I hate to see people call or follow up on an agent later after the fact, and then they want to blame you for, you coerced me to do this, and there is agents who do that.
Well, usually when I am showing a house and someone asks me like how much their mortgage would be, how much they think the payments are going to be, I have this app on my phone and it kind of gives you like an estimate.
Ooh, what's the app?
I think Carl's Mortgage Calculator. Let's find it.
Free game. I ain't never heard about this.
Carl's Mortgage Calculator. So it kind of gives you like a little estimate, just so that
Carl with a K.
Carl with a K. Yeah, so it gives you kind of your monthly payments. So it's nice, just so you know how much you're budgeting.
Is it a free app or you have to pay?
I believe I don't pay for that one. I pay for a couple other ones though.
We're gonna try to drop the link
Okay.
for that in this when I put the actual video up later. That's awesome.
It is really, really nice.
That's awesome. I want to start doing that for my people. All right, seller tip for today.
Wait, what do you have?
Broken record, the usual, right? So price for today's market, not last year's market. And at the end of the day, affordability is king. So this is the biggest tip I will give for today's seller's tip. I want you, before you price your home, before you talk to your agent and be like, okay, this is the list price we're gonna go with, I want you to realistically try to buy your house. Don't worry, I'll wait. I want you to literally like, okay, if I was going to buy my house in 2026, would you pay the mortgage rate for your current home? That's the conversation that needs to be had when we're making listing prices, when we're making the home price. Because if we just said across the board, everybody cares more about what their monthly payment is, we should be hyper focused on that than whatever price point we're trying to get. And if there's some issue with that, then maybe we should do some seller financing. Maybe we should do some seller carry. We should try to figure out a way, because everything's negotiable in this business. So if you need X amount of money and they don't have X amount of money, then we need to cut a deal in a different way to get you to where you want to go. But at the end of the day, they might not have all this stuff. They might not be ready, or they might not be financially sound to make that happen. So taking care of seller concessions, the seller tip paying the closing costs, these things could make the difference. And yeah, just something to think about. I try to tell all my sellers that sometimes you're talking to a brick wall, because, you know, everybody on the internet's smarter than anybody in real life, right? So that's a real thing. So at the end of the day, I just do what I can with what I can, making the best lemonade out of lemons I got, right? And so we're just making magic happen. So at the end of the day, if you guys need anything, let us know. We are here working, selling houses, buying houses, things of the nature.
Every day.
Investing, flipping, we have some investors we have to follow up on, clients we have to follow up on. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I do want to expand this show a little bit further with things, but we'll talk about that when we're off the air.
Okay.
All right?
We'll catch you guys next time.
You have a good one.